What's up, y'all? It's all Change from Vivid Visions. I'm here with my man, Y King. Good with you, homie.
What's happening, bro?
Alright, so my first question for real. With you being a DC native, how would you describe your sound?
Um, Captivated, um, urban, but still very, very much so conscious at the same time.
Alright, so with you being a DC native, transition to living in Baltimore and whatnot, how would you describe the difference between a DC sound and a Baltimore sound?
Well, the DC sound typically uses more drums. We have a more native type of band, like a live band feel. You know what I'm saying? Like we actually perform with live bands. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore is more so fast-paced, computer, computer
With the whole
technology.
club music scene and things like that.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Alright, so have you ever really thought about using like go-go as an influence in your music?
Oh yeah, I got a single out. Well, it's not necessarily a single, but it's been doing pretty well called Flight School. The beat was made by Anonymous. Sorry, but it's Flight. It definitely has the congos in, and I'm actually doing a homegrown, taking it back home and incorporating it in my album coming out.
Alright, so how do you feel about like the current state of like DC for real? Like you got Wale, of course, is like the head man, and then you got like Fat Trail and so on and so forth.
I'm proud. I'm definitely proud of home, man. We have a lot of talent. And I'm glad that Wale, even though I see him as a rival to a competitor type of standpoint, I'm proud of what he's doing. I'm proud of the board. I'm proud of shout out my man Fats, the big fella, Fat Trail, Shy Glizzy, everybody doing their thing over there, man. And I'm excited to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming.
Right, so you just want to see yourself, you stepping up to the forefront for you. Like you want to be on that level as, ahead of him for
you. See this W, and if you see this W, you see me. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I feel you. So as far as like music wise, who inspires you? Like I know that you're a big fan of like T.I. and like Fabulous for real. Like is there anyone else that like kind of inspired
you? Yeah, I mean honestly, man, my father. My father was he's a drummer. I got love for Drake. I like Meek Mill too. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Philly is actually where I got the punchline, the grip from, to be able to give you bars the way I do. And last but not least, man, you take it to the greats like, Biggie. I like Cassidy still. I like good music, so I'm kind of well rounded with it. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, cool. So you said you started like at 15 with like SB, J5.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Simply Bird.
Of course, y'all, been doing music for like years now, and then you kind of like stepped out with the whole Caviar music thing. Like, at what point did you feel like it was like time for you to like really step out on your own?
Well, I had met Five when I was about 15, and we had did the group, and he had pretty much introduced me to recording.
Right.
And at that time, I knew, like, because we would always talk about the dreams we had at my mom's house and his house, and at that moment when I recorded my first song, The King Is Back, as if I had left, which is funny. But when I had first did that song, I knew from then that that's what I wanted. And being around them was an experience to show me how to go and get it. It was definitely a platform. I was performing at 15, 16 years old.
Right. So I remember those actually, like Nemo and all that.
Yeah, like it was a good look, man, and it just continued to grow. And I believe when we broke up was when I knew that I could fly by myself. At first, because if you homegrown in a, when you with a group, it's like everybody counts on one another.
Right.
And you try to be a team player, but once the team decides to stop, do you stop your dream because they stop?
Right.
So at that point, that's when I knew it was like I have what it takes to be king. That's who I am. So that's what I did.
Alright, so now that you got the whole Caviar music, Caviar society movement and things like that, just break down like a brief little explanation about it. Like how do you see that progressing as well?
Okay, well Caviar Society was given to me. I had a group before that called Absolute Royalty. Absolute Royalty embodied, kingsmanship, royalty. I believe that we're all kings and queens in our own right, and I believe that there's a certain way that we should act. We should portray ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I went with that. God had given me that idea, and I went with that. I had like 7 or 8 artists. And mind you, I was 17 with that. I was 17 running it. But that had stopped because they wanted to change what God had given me, and I wouldn't allow them to.
Right.
So then he gave me, and he allowed me to reinvent myself with Caviar Society. And Caviar Society is pretty much, it's the same thing, but it's bringing style, it's bringing creativity and sophistication back to the game. And that's really what I want from it. I also want it to be a name that can stick by anything. It
Right.
has to be able to represent everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's really,
So kind of like how Kanye with the whole like good music thing. Like he said like if you make good music, like you're
You're
with
part
good
of
music.
it.
Right.
Exactly. Shout out Kanye too for that. But definitely, and the last thing with Caviar Music, it's pretty much it's the billboard for Caviar Society. You know what I mean? It's like everything lavish, everything important, everything above regular.
Right.
You know, we weren't born to live regular. Everybody has a tiny piece of superiority in them. So I think we should bring it out. So that's what you're gonna get.
Alright, so now before we get up out of here, so what's next for Wap King? Like I know you got the whole, Lights Out song on iTunes.
Lights Out. Go grab that on iTunes. You know what I'm saying? Or Google Store for the Android users. You know what I mean? I have a second single releasing Valentine's Day called "Make It Rain." It's a slick club anthem. You know what I'm saying? Stripper anthem. Shout out to them. And honestly, the album I'm working on the album. I'm trying to reach out to Fat Trail. What up? You know me. Once again, Fabulous. What up? Anybody that's trying to work with a young brother. You know what I'm saying? And we'll have some surprises on that though. Definitely.
Alright, so you got like a certain timing for the release date?
I'm thinking at least by the end of summer. By the end of the summer.
Cool. Alright, so yeah, this is All Change from Vivid Visions. My man Wild King for real. Make sure to support him. Definitely get the track Lights Out
Lights Out
on iTunes, and make sure to look out for his album as well. Definitely a good friend of mine and one of the homies. So yeah, I'll always support him. Make sure you support him. And we out there, man. Thanks for coming through.
It's all love, bro. Thanks for having me.